818 Tequila, owned by Kendall Jenner, is just the latest celebrity tequila to be hitting the market and making waves. And there have been so many different celebrities coming out with tequilas recently that the market's getting a little crowded. And even so, 818 has still been able to make waves in headlines and on social media, though not always for the best reasons. But in this video, I'm gonna be giving you a complete overview on 818 Tequila, gonna be tasting both of these expressions, and then I'm gonna give you my honest opinion on both of these bottles. So Kendall Jenner, for whatever reason, is a highly influential person. Whether you agree with it or not, she has a lot of pull in today's social media age. And so when she launched this tequila brand, everybody was talking about it and excited to get their hands on it. But it hasn't really all been roses. Like I mentioned before, there's been a lot of issues with this brand. Basically, from the moment that she announced, there have been issues. A lot of different people have been calling it a cultural appropriation due to some of her ads, and just overall helping to contribute to a kind of detriment in the agave market. And that's not just on her, it's actually a larger issue with all of these celebrity-owned tequilas, but I don't really want to talk about that in this video. If you're interested, subscribe to my channel, and that is one of the upcoming videos I will be making, going over the impact of celebrity-owned tequilas on the agave market. But in this video, I want to stick to specifically what is inside of these bottles and is it worth your time and money. So let's get into it. Oh, and if at any moment you are enjoying this video, make sure you're coming over here and hitting that like button just so that it can spread to more people. I'd really appreciate it. So let's start with the bottles. I'll be honest with you, they kind of look a little generic. I do generally like the little square feel to it, but the graphic design on it, it's not really eye-catching. It's not really interesting to me, at least. But you're not here to have a conversation on graphic design now, are you? So let's get to talking about these bottles individually. I have here the Blanco and the Reposado. They do make an Anejo, which I just couldn't get my hands on. For whatever reason, they didn't have it at the store that I bought these at. But let's start with the Blanco. This bottle came in at about $56, $58 where I bought it. And I've heard that it actually can be a little bit more expensive depending on where you're buying it. Let's pop it open and we'll give it a sip and we'll go from there. All right, let's give it a little sip here. Doesn't smell too harsh, smells a little sweet. Honestly, the taste for me on this, it's a little harsh, but overall it's not too terrible to drink. I feel like if you were to put this in a mixer or make a margarita out of it, it actually wouldn't be too bad. It doesn't burn all that much, and it has a little bit of a sweetness at the end that does round it out a little bit. It's not terrible, but for the price that you're paying, there are some questions raised there. Or at least there should be, in my opinion. All right, let's move on to the Reposado. This one cost me about $62, and while that's not unheard of in the tequila market, especially because good tequila does go up in price, it is pretty high up there because there are a lot of cheaper tequilas out there. So let's give this one a little sip. Overall, there's a lot of sweetness. It's very, very sweet. It almost feels like cotton candy in a way. Like it just reminds me of cotton candy. And you have that burn, but I'll be honest, it doesn't taste all that much like a tequila, in my opinion, should. It's easy to drink, I'll give it that. I mean, I could sip this and it doesn't burn too much, and it's easy to drink even on its own. It has that overall, it's like a caramelly, almost cotton candy kind of flavor. I don't know if that's what I would look for in a tequila, but I'm sure some people out there might enjoy it. Again, like I should say, $62 for a tequila. It's not too bad, it's not the worst. Overall, pretty sweet, easy to drink. A little bit of a burn, and you get that underlying tequila flavor. I personally have just a little bit of an issue with that over sweetness. I don't necessarily want that in my tequila, but I'm sure some of you may enjoy that because it might be easier to drink. Now that we've kind of tasted both of these expressions, let's talk about who this tequila is for. Based on what I've seen so far, it really just seems like they're just trying to ride the celebrity tequila wave and using Kendall Jenner's star power to help sell this tequila. And if you're a fan of hers and you want to try it, I'll be honest with you, there's probably worse tequila that could have been made and done for this kind of thing. I do think they maybe put a little bit of effort into it, maybe not the most effort. So now let's get to the point of this video. Is 818 Tequila worth your time, effort, and money? In my opinion, if you're a big fan of Kendall Jenner's or you love the Kardashians, are there worse tequilas out there that you could be drinking? Yes, and so therefore, if you want to support them or you really, really love them, you could probably find this enjoyable. It could probably become a pretty good staple on your bar shelf, or you could order this out wherever you are and you would probably enjoy it. But in terms of value for what this is and what they represent, I cannot recommend this tequila at all, quite frankly. The price for both of these bottles are just way too expensive for what they are, and there's so many better tequilas out there within the same price range. Just two very, very easy options that I just have on my back bar is you have the Tromba Reposado, which cost me about like $36 a bottle, I think something along those lines. And it's a fantastic Reposado. It has that earthy agave flavor that I'm accustomed to from a good tequila. And so I find that this to just be a much better tequila for half the price, even if it isn't the most high-end tequila out there. But where there is a high-end tequila out there that puts this to absolute shame is the Fortaleza Reposado. Fortaleza is widely regarded as one of the best tequilas on the market. The people who make this, they do this 100% the right way. They are a family-owned distillery, and they make sure they're taking care of their agave the right way. They do everything correctly, and their product is just absolutely spectacular. And the part that really kills me on this is that this cost me $63. This cost me $52. The fact that this right here is probably the best Reposado I've ever had, and it costs $10 less than this, I can't recommend this. I just can't. Like this, there's no comparison in my mind between these two bottles. This is like an overly sweet candy, cotton candy flavored tequila drink, whereas this is a really well-made Reposado tequila. And you know, I really enjoy tequila. I really enjoy it as a spirit, and so for me, that's why this just isn't worth anything. But like I said, if you love the Kardashians and you love Kendall Jenner, who am I to judge you if you want to buy it? You know, it tastes okay. It's not the worst tequila I've ever tried, but if you're looking at it from a value or quality of what's inside the bottle perspective, man, there's so much better that you can do out there. There really is. But there you have it. That is my honest opinion on 818 Tequila. And you might be thinking, did he really spend over $100 just to tell me not to buy it? Yes, I did, so that you don't have to. If you enjoyed this video, it would mean the world to me if you consider subscribing. I do have that upcoming video on the issues surrounding celebrity-owned tequilas, but that's enough for me. I've got some tequila to drink, not these. I'm gonna be drinking this. And we'll catch you in the next one. Cheers.